I don't want to waste your time, so there won't be an intro. SSG and Dark Zero are the two teams that I enjoy watching the most. Mainly because they are playing the kind of rainbow that I really like. They are structured, strategic, and smart. So I'm always looking forward to matches between the two, and this one is no exception. Also, if you're watching this within the first few hours after release, then you can catch me live on stream reviewing some Pro League games. Link is in the description. SSG Dark Zero always so good. Definitely looking forward to that. Like that's always the highlight of my season, honestly. BDS actually using the utility was nice to watch too. Yeah, right? Like, did you guys see that? Like they actually impact tricked. They double impact tricked in 2 different rounds. Like, poof. That's just crazy, honestly. That is just crazy.
So there is some flexibility here for counter bans. I would say more than anything, these aren't necessarily counter bans. Maverick is very much targeted towards hot and cold. Hot and cold is likely going to sit on Habana.
Also, interesting side story. In both EU and NA, Echo is banned via gentleman's agreement, right? Like both teams just agree to not play Echo. However, the only NA team that does not agree to this gentleman's agreement is SSG. Gotta, yeah. Guess it. Think about that how you want. Because obviously SSG is playing Echo a lot, right? Like a lot of teams are just perma-banning Echo anyways. Not so SSG. Also Mira? Oh, Mira is banned, okay.
We also get a very quick answer to the Echo question here, as it's immediately brought in.
Obviously,
faults on round number 1, so indeed we will be seeing
Echo's still kind of bugged. Like maybe, I guess. I've heard conflicting stories. Like,
SSG set themselves up for a pretty straightforward library defense.
But I've seen the Fnatic clip it was, I think, on Coastline, where people were just like, Echo Drone was just indestructible, nothing you could do. You just lost around to it. Alright, happens, I guess. What's up? I'm tired. Send help. Hello.
So as we've come to expect, yeah, that third floor is going to be a
major
pivotal.
So let's look at this game then. This is pretty default, right? Interestingly, I always wonder, right? Like, there's always a question between Valkyrie versus Pulse on this side, I think. Because you want to play C4, right? You want to play the double C4 below. There's a lot of possibilities for C4 kills. And I quite like Pulse more. I think, ooh, what is Smoke doing here? Just to finish the point, I like Pulse more, just because there's so many opportunities to get C4 kills, right? Like entirety of lounge, freezer, bar, everywhere basically, right? This is... I like the fact that Rampy is starting here, right? Like he's just shooting a drone and then falling back, I'd assume. What is this about? Is this maybe like some kind of counter strat? Like they know that Dark Zero is playing like mining techs, that's why Smoke has this hole above the mining window prepared? Okay, he's falling back. Okay.
SSG, I chance being up this far, but now they have an ability to
always a nice feeling to be sick during these times. Makes you feel real nice. Okay, I'm a big fan of that, right? Like I'm dedicated a very big part of YouTube video to that. Ooh, where was... I'm a big fan of playing this far up at the start and then falling back. How did... Is that Snowblock? Can't quite tell. It must have been, right? There's no other... No other way you can die here.
I
don't want to waste your time, so there won't be an intro. Tell. Thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, this was okay, but interesting, right? Like you are here. That's how you kind of punish this forward hold, right? Like Smoke was playing behind the shield here, but Hibana was in position, so there won't be an intro to cut him off. Pretty nice. And Simplicity TDG also subscribing. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You have to imagine that the Smoke would likely be playing over by the B bomb site, a fallback from Bosco to the
okay, but the Hyper died at some point, so this is probably still even.
Off of those 2 openings in there. In this case, it's likely going to be
and by even I mean defender sided, right? Like if it's 4v4, it's 1 minute left, and the site is reading. Probably defender-sided.
Screen, and it's thinking Nate, who's close enough
But let's
by.
see how Dark Zero
SSG
tries to
continue
convert
surprise me. They
this.
are not backing off, and
Because
by
I'm not
taking these
seeing
openings that they have and
any
how
kind of
Boston
vertical
Ravens
play
are
right
playing
now.
above,
Shouldn't you be
they
using
are
Sledge right now?
taking the fight to Dark Zero
Play
in a
vertically? Okay,
coordinated
now
amount of
they're
aggression
doing
that
it.
If DZ performs anywhere near
I would like to
as
see an
sharply as they did
overview
in the
now
mini-major,
to really
SSG could be easily
because
losing
like
these
right,
games.
like Dark Zero is one of the teams that really thinks about where they are supposed to be here, right? Like a lot of teams are just like, hey, we got control, let's just do whatever, right? But both Dark Zero and SSG are both teams that think about where you're supposed to be, where you are supposed to be. And I think New Balk is one of the positions where you are supposed to be. New Balk is very nice to protect red flank. New Balk is very nice to do this. See this? Right? Like, okay, ignore the fact that this got caught by an ADS. You open this, right? And then the New Balk player can contest like the 90 area hallway. And New Balk player can also contest brown stairs and red stairs, right? So I think New Balk is like so good.
Unfortunately for Dark
I'm a big
Zero,
fan of playing New Balk here.
Get to that point here. Oh, going to see a soft destruction charge get eaten up as well by an ADS that was left up. So unfortunate for Mint, but not a huge loss at the end of the day.
Okay, so you're basically already ready to plant. Like you just need to control. Yeah, I think this is very important, right? Like the top floor player needs to control laundry.
Now see they're getting in position to do.
But then you can plant.
That library door you were talking about before.
But look at how like look at how smart this is. You can just see the smart. Yeah. Oh man, this would have been so cool. But Tyler drops for some godforsaken reason. Now they're losing.
Before he attempts to go for the plant, he doesn't have the best cover currently, so this is a bit risky. The job is getting done. Mint starts this off.
Yeah, you just still lost, right? Like this is terrible after plant.
He's not going to stay alive for very long. Thinking Nate quickly reconfirms the death of Hot and Cold, taking
even now, right? Like yeah, you are above, right? But this should still be SSG win. I'll go back to where this fell apart in a second. Ah man, that sucks. That would have been like. Are they actually winning? I guess. Wait, shouldn't you retake this? Okay, you lost. I think you probably want to like 3-man retake this. I think you had enough time. Okay, let's go back to where this fell apart. Because that was... Okay, you see here, the plan's going down, right? You've got control of reading, you've got control of laundry. Everything's going well. Now... And now this is like this is why you're playing Heaven, right? You're playing Heaven because of this.
Now moving in.
And from Heaven you can also contest this, right? Obviously not both at the same time, but you know this is the reason why you play Heaven. You're not supposed to drop down here and then get slapped. Like that's your job. Gotta prevent both of these things. A rare Eclipse throw hurts my heart. Hurts my heart. I guess it just eclipsed his mind. Sure did.
It all falls down to Skies now.
The video uploaded? Oh, that's nice.
And he does have top-down control.
Probably still 360p quality or something like that.
Likely stop it. No frag grenades to confirm it, but there we go. There's the angle I was just referring to.
Where you from? Germany.
Rampy goes down. Unfortunately for him, though, Fultz is going to.
When he killed the Brownsville player? I mean, yeah, okay. Sure. Video is in full 1080p. Okay, then YouTube is just full trolling me, like full on trolling.
Because it's not like you can nitro sell the default plant spot that would happen inside of reading, but the Valkyrie comes up at just about.
But yeah, I think you saw, right? Like why I like Heaven so much.
Now, he does get taken down, but while he's removed from action, he's able to distract.
Up until this point, like this was like really good.
Dark Zero. And the rest of
SSG Pork returned to greatness. Were they ever really gone? I wouldn't use the NA major to really like make these kind of statements about NA. I feel like the top 3 at least, right? Between TSM, Dark Zero, SSG. I think it's always been very close. So it's certainly difficult at the moment to make it the tier list of like top 1, top 2, top 3 in NA.
That could have been what he was going for,
but that was already a cool round, right? Like this matchup just always delivers.
Maybe he was playing downstairs because he suspected that somebody was for him. He was trying to waste time. I'm not entirely sure the thought process on why he was down there, but he came back at just about the right time, and it bought his team enough on the clock to be able to allow the rest of them to capitalize. And no matter how good of a job Skies is doing upstairs, there was no intel.
You're going to do a review of BDS in EUL? Maybe. Not today, if that's what you're asking. But in the future, certainly. But the thing is that I catch most of the EU games live, right? So, and I don't catch most of the NA games live. So there's an incentive to review NA games on stream. So I can see both regions. Okay, what is this about? Is this just a... this is not just a bakery hold. How much utility is there in the roam actually? Because it's not like they're not using castle to play bakery. That's one of the main reasons you're using castle a lot of the time. Where are the castle barricades? You know that there's one in like Christmas. This looks like a first floor hold, right? You'd get utility invested, right?
Take a look at their pressure, mainly working its way into bakery right now, with Hyper and Houghton already having control, just clearing out utility.
Thatcher banned?
Valkyrie cams along with anything else that might be in the area before they start to
that shouldn't be an issue then. So I guess here it really comes down to how Dark Zero is dealing with the mining and the train players, right?
Banshee, which is gonna be done quite.
Oh, this is super dangerous. Okay, good. Okay, they had mint on drone, right? But like, usually this is where tragic things happen. If Sophia is just on the launcher
Banshee, which is gonna be done quite
without holding the gun.
One thing that the Maverick band
right, so at the moment, right, like, sure, this gets opened, right, but this is not a problem for SSG just yet, because they have top floor control, right? They can watch the breach, they can watch prep all from above, but it really comes down to who DCs. Really comes down to what the top floor players are doing. Right, like thinking Nate Rampy, they can easily carry this from above. Also, it's already a 3v5, so not exactly the best circumstances here.
Bosco's going to continue to hold this angle as well, and hopes that he could potentially pick up a second kill if the opportunity presents itself.
I'm interested that it's interesting to see that SSG decided to reinforce both walls towards red, right?
In the primary kitchen angle, as that main door is being covered by his teammate currently. So Dark Zero.
Because I'd say like this kind of setup, right, where you like invest utility top floor, you play like 3 people top floor, that incentivizes bakery only takes, right?
Back under their control.
And against bakery only takes, it's really strong to have a hole in one of the red walls. So interesting to see that we are not seeing this. Okay, there was the second castle barricade. Okay.
Trying to make a miracle happen. We can see some.
I guess maybe third one was
damage. I believe on a Canadian back there, but whether he actually got vision on him, still yet to be seen.
Fireplace window maybe? So you can fall back? Like that seems like SSG fashion.
How little time is left. There's not really a reason for Canadian to have.
Yeah, like this round is not interesting.
Finally pick up the first kill of the round.
Castles are on freezer to bunker door. Freezer to bunker door.
Warding coming out, we can more than likely expect an increase in pace here to come in from the Dark Zero roster.
I guess. Yeah, I see it. Huh.
Final two gonna try to brute force their way in through the main kitchen.
Why though?
Bosco gets his third. Canadian gets the final frag, and SSG swiftly
Next, are you worried about backstabs?
We're gonna need a rehost here, so we've got plenty of time to dive into exactly what happened, but with
maybe, right? Like you've got like 3 people above, right? Then you're worried about like White Stairs backstab into freezer?
Just about every single bomb
curious.
here, and Hyper's actually rejoined the game, so we won't need a rehost.
Oh, nice, no rehost.
Celebration. John, I don't know if you noticed, just stopping myself for a second here, better Twitch TV.
Are we watching the BDS game? Maybe. Gotta see how my voice holds up.
It's one of my favorite emotes. It might not apply here perfectly, but Hyper is back in the game. So we could chat.
You're also reviewing TSM Tempestorm? Certainly not today. Maybe in one of the next days though.
That's been by far the most spammed emote.
Going to do any VOD reviews of Apex? Just curious. I mean, I don't have any specific one planned, but there's no like I'm not generally opposed to doing them.
I could dig through my Discord logs from when I said, "Hey, can we add BT?"
When there's like a really cool game, right?
The FFZ emotes.
I might consider
I
it.
asked that like 3 years ago and was told like, no, it's unprofessional. So I don't know.
They had freezer open, wanted to play in coffee, so they could have been wallbanked there.
We love catching.
What's coffee actually?
So, kudos to them and hats off to
coffee.
Didn't have to use to enable.
I actually don't know what coffee is. Is it bunker? Because then I can see it.
And I'm sure the denizens of
coffee is VIP.
So a couple things with that attack though. The lack
There's
of
no wall
Maverick
bang in
means that
cave
when you
in
open up the wall,
VIP
there's
though.
a greater viewpoint for the defender.
Default playing kitchen or bunker? Okay, yeah, bunker.
to
Okay,
see
yeah,
it
makes sense.
from. And I mean, Bosco showed that
Makes
off
sense. Just never heard
immediately in the
the
round.
term
Two
bunker
openings
before.
have been created by the ex-Kairos of Hibana. The front of Bakery is completely opened up with.
Well, that's an interesting Goyo shield, right? Like usually you play this shield like here, so you can like do something.
Do open up a portion of the wall.
Like you can actually challenge VIP.
Lines for them to be able to hold
piano.
and given that they
VIP.
have 5 players who are very adept
Interesting.
at their shots.
Interesting to see that one, right?
Have essentially lost that. You can't actively peek it unless you are willing.
I want to see how that turns out.
50-50, which not every team is. Space Station seems to be quite committed.
I like this a very defensive shield. And they're still pairing it with the usual shields in freezer toilet. But this one is like oddly defensive.
Lose your Zofia right off the rip is that you can't do any discovery work inside of the bomb site. Number one, if you're going to be clearing out any ADSs, can't really do it as easily anymore because you're going to be missing 2.
Oh, you see this, right? Like the Thatcher IQ combo?
That need to be taken care of.
I think that's a really cool one.
Your best
Right? Like you are IQ above, you see where the ADS are stacked, you throw an EMP above, you nade the shield.
For doing that, other than somebody with frag grenades,
More ADS obviously because you just EMP'd, and you get the shield for free.
Right away, and then not having the
Yeah,
Maverick at
you
their
did.
disposal
Okay.
meant that the likelihood of taking kitchen
Obvious problem is, right?
fell to
Thatcher
basically
doesn't
zero.
doesn't destroy ADS
They
anymore,
still had, what, 4 players alive on
so you
Space
can
Station side of
technically
things. They did
still
great.
play Pixel here. Don't have the shield, but you can't get naded out. So at some point you could probably rotate back into Pixel here.
Not just Hyper, but at least 1 or 2 other
And
players.
that would be
They're gonna move
awkward
away from that, though. I
for the
believe
attackers to deal with you.
one of them is going to go up to the top and group up with the main portion of the team that's now working for better control inside of the actual building.
I feel like in recent times we've seen a lot more like East repels at this stage of the round. Like on Heaven, right? I'm pretty sure I've seen this from Rogue too yesterday. Corey was always repelling on this side. Okay, but this is certainly not like a general thing. This is connected with like this execute. So they got rid of this shield, they got rid of the pixel shield, but they didn't get rid of the bathroom shield. Oh, actually, I just see that there are 2 walls reinforced here, so the bathroom player doesn't even have any kind of impact, right? The bathroom player can't even contribute here. You're basically playing like 2v2. So I can certainly see the drop here, right? Makes sense. Go for kills. That side.
Never mind. Dark Zero just gonna hop 2 players in from Skylight.
Yeah, very important to realize that you were weak to pixel here.
But ultimately, SSG seems to be holding them back.
That's pretty good.
Maybe not.
Oh, Maestro's still alive. Interesting. Everyone dead but Maestro. That's a pretty nice execute, right? You saw your chance. You saw that bathroom is like irrelevant. And then you that side. I like it. I wonder why bathroom was double reinforced though, right? Because usually like the reason you hold bathroom to begin with is because you can like influence freezer bar from bathroom. So that's an interesting choice. And certainly very well exploited by Dark Zero.
Station, this would have been a setup where a Mute, a Mozzie, possibly a Vigil would have prevented most of those attacking teams from realizing that the significant blind spot in Space
Seems the heartbeat gadget is not having the impact Ubisoft was hoping it would have.
Called it absolutely correctly when
SSG certainly not used that often. I saw it yesterday in EU a few times. I think from Chaos? No, Tempra. Someone was playing Lion on, was it Oregon or Theme? It was Clubhouse. Oregon Clubhouse? Maybe Navi? Someone was playing Lion, Heartbeat Gadget.
They dropped in. You know the relative spots of where the defenders are going to play. There's
bit outdated question, but is Jaeger 2-speed a good change? I don't have any hard feelings about it, honestly. Like I don't really care either way. I think in Pro League specifically, you can actually consider it a buff because Jaeger tricking, right? If you are 2-speed, like or 2 armor, you are less likely to die to nades.
At that point, it's a
So
1v3.
in a way, it probably buffed Jaeger playing on like constant yellow stairs, right? Because if you fuck up the Jaeger trick, you're like, if you're lucky, you don't die.
Plays this game at a top level. There's no way that Rampy is going to be able to get himself out of that position.
But Heartbreach out gadget on rubbish orbs that are never played. Yeah, that's a big issue. Like on Montana, you'd probably rather have smokes. On Ying, you'd rather have smokes. Lion and Capitao really are the only operators that can be played.
The best opportunity is to take the fight right to space station. Strategy trying to take piano and all that be damned. And DZ engages in a fist fight that they come out on top of.
Okay, so this is reading. Interesting to see no mining. If I remember correctly, both SSG and Dark Zero are playing mining quite a bit.
Mind you, this is one that they've won for themselves already here. Just not feeling the confidence to go back to that third floor hold after what had transpired.
And last round we just saw this really nice, like last time we saw reading, saw this really nice execute. Until Tyler threw it away by dropping Heaven.
We've already seen Dark Zero try to do previously. Bit of roaming presence to clear out, but it does look like SSG already have a large.
And now they're not playing as forward anymore. Like they're not playing Pixel anymore. Like last time Smoke got caught off really early.
But other than that, SSG only have one.
But Dark Zero isn't even playing cocktail takes. They are playing killer train takes.
They take some map control for themselves now as they're moving.
So let's see how this works for them.
It looks like successfully able to take control there.
This Echo being up was not enough to stop the plant in round number 1. The only round
yeah, you do have always interesting to see him for this tech.
Despite still falling behind in that round.
Like it's always an interesting question how you approach holding the top floor. Because in a way, when you're playing train, right, you need to have control of piano, right? Because that's where you can get flanked from. And at the moment, I think there's both Sledge and Thatcher are top floor. Okay, Thatcher is like Heaven area. Sledge is piano.
The question is going to be, will they actually be able to shoot those Echo drones, or will they be in locations where Space Station know they are relatively safe?
Is this some kind of oh no?
At the moment from Dark Zero is coming over from mining.
I mean,
no
okay.
Way you don't see that, Hyper.
Certainly somewhat risky, but I can see it.
And that is just once again bravado from Space
Maybe not on
Station,
Echo,
but
I can certainly see it.
At the start of round number 4's execute.
The round as well here. We're going to lose Hyper. Questionable amount of the utility actually utilized. Definitely looks like at least one or two.
Yes, just saw flank drones in place, right?
Hyper.
Bottom red.
Questionable amount of the utility.
But this protects red stairs. Now you've got like that player, right? He's just switching through drones right now.
Beyond that, though, most notably the stun charge is going to go to wasted as the Zofia is lost.
What are the top floor players doing right now? Because it seems like are they walking up or are they just chilling?
Approaching the 30-second mark, their pickest obstacle is going to be getting the entire team together. But I think with good control of red, they should be able to do that quite easily, which is what they're looking to get towards now. Mint nearly being able to.
Oh, yeah, I think they missed the rotation here. Oh no! And then the frame of the hollow. That was the second kind of aggro play that Fultz made that worked out really well here.
It guarantees a win in the fight. Bosco also has success in taking out Hot and Cold. Eclipse will find a trade, but as we can see, Fultz.
Yeah, but difficult to talk about strategy here, right? Yeah, difficult to talk about strategy here, right? Like that was mainly Fultz winning it on his own. Like these two aggro plays.
Final duel, and SSG maintain a 3-1 lead.
Heck of a seesaw of a round, given the fact that it was a very strong hold by Space Station, puts them up on big numbers, and then DZ fights their way through that top floor, and then to drop back down. And you can see right there, Eclipse falters, Skies falters, and a large part of that was.
Sorry if I'm not contributing too much. I'm technically in a class right now. I gotta help out with that view. No problem, man. Also, you're not alone with being in class right now. I've heard that there are a bunch of people that should be in class right now, should be paying attention. But instead they choose to learn about Rainbow. I don't know if that's a responsible choice. But I guess you're learning. At least I hope.
An IQ on the board.
Wait, I'm bit leader? I see no god but me.
Well, if you're suspecting that, then you won't be surprised to see that Dark Zero.
Will Capitao get his stuns back? I know I would much prefer stuns on him. Yeah, I'd probably, I mean, stuns are better, right? Like, stuns are pretty certainly better. I don't know about getting him back, right? I think Capitao is still strong. Oh. I think Capitao is fine.
Come to agreements whether it's agreeing to play or not. Want any dissension among the ranks here?
See, in this game, SSG stuck to their roles and they won that
So
way.
other than what
Oh
we're
yeah,
seeing with the
you were
actual
criticizing them
change of
for
operator
switching roles in the
when it
major,
comes
right?
on the operator, things are going to stay pretty much the same here for SSG.
I'm not quite convinced that you can make
freezer and kitchen sites. Very much
you can
what
like
expect
pin
this.
the difference down to this one
A
change.
lot of emphasis on defending the main kitchen. There are reinforcements.
Might be
this time
part of
around.
it, though.
It was left soft previously, so a little bit of a change up there for SSG. But other than
I think opening the library wall is better for library retake. Honestly, I have no idea how you correctly play the train take. I don't know. I mean, I do. The only thing that I know about train takes is that you want to have bottom white control.
the same way. Also, no Kaid this time.
Other than that, I have no idea.
Due to the fact that it got dealt with almost.
Yeah, let me quickly catch up on chat here. Tala was talking about more ops getting secondary shotties or machine pistols. What do you think? I agree. Like I fully agree. I think the game is much more interesting with more secondary shotguns. I think the game should be in a state where if the defenders wanted to open like every single wall, they should be able to, right? Like that just creates interesting gameplay, right? So I think every defender should have a secondary shotgun. Like make it not deal any damage to players. Like I don't care. I would certainly like that. Seen SSG Garage run out? Have not. Is that coming up or did I miss it already? The correct way to play the train tech is not to.
Immediately by
I agree. I
so
probably agree.
Better served with a different operator here, and they're probably correct on that.
So with this being
Ace should not have smokes because then he's your heart breacher and execute op. Yeah, Ace pretty strong. Ace is pretty strong. Although to be fair, I like the fact that attackers have like ready access to smokes now. I think smokes also create interesting gameplay. A lot of smart things you can do with smokes. And in general, I think smokes are very underrated. Is this the garage run out you were talking about? Is this is prep, right?
Especially if they're
This is just prepared?
Doing a 1-2-2
right? Like you know that like this gotta be some kind of analyst play, right? Like you know that Hawk and Cold is always here droning. Maybe he picked a different corner this time. Do they have like they've got no Valk, right? I'm pretty sure that this is some kind of analyst play. Where they saw that Hawk and Cold is always droning like here in this corner. Then you run out and kill him. He was on the other corner. That's my idea. My idea what happened anyways. Otherwise I can't really explain what's going on here. To be perfectly honest. That must look really stupid if you have no idea what's going on. I'm pretty sure that was some kind of analyst preparation though. And that feels bad for Luke must feel bad after that one.
That's a rough go for SSG.
But it's probably the right choice, right? Like if you consistently see him droning there, right? Like I'd go for that too. Like I'd go for that. I'm never going to blame fellow analyst for doing something like that.
A little bit more drone work to make.
Did you get a new mic? You sound sick? Yeah, I'm sick. Same mic, just sick.
Start to clear things out below that. Obviously, the top-down work being done here by Scout.
Okay, looks like Dark Zero got full top floor control in the meantime. So let's see their execute, right? That's always it's always a very interesting thing. I just love the 5v5 executes, right? Like if 5 people or like if 10 people are still alive at like the 30-second mark, that's always where Rainbow is the most interesting. Ooh, and they already prepared this, right? Like to hold whiskey. Right, if you go down, Mr. Observer, one floor down, please. No? Alright. Ah, this is I think I remember something like this, where they are pinching the Christmas player. There is not even a Christmas player here. But I remember Dark Zero doing this, pinching the Christmas player. But then I was wondering, like, what's your big idea here?
that,
And
not finding much success here.
in that one round I saw, I couldn't find the big idea behind that.
SSG. And this is
Let's
good
see
too,
if we
because they are
can
playing from behind after having
see
lost
the idea
the lead
now.
run out.
Okay, they're
They do need to
planting.
make sure they keep as
But
many
this is
players
just
alive
freezer
here as
plant, right?
possible before the eventual execute comes in, which should be happening any moment now. Full team can take a little bit of a risk here, runs through the incendiary and loses quite a bit of HP as a result of that.
Because
Skies will find the first entry, however, with the killing of Rampy.
like, why do you need to be here in order to pull this off?
Down, but no, it's not going to happen. He
I
got
don't
blasted out
quite.
by the yokai, and Sky's still upstairs.
Because like they've had 2 drop, right? 2 freezer, one above, and then 2 like dining area.
Putting in so much
But like,
work.
what are the dining players really doing
Bosco
here?
can't do it.
I
Bosco
can't
will
quite.
lose Canadian leaving, just a 1v4.
I don't quite see. Don't quite see what's going on here, to be perfectly honest.
Of the map curve. SMG 11 will drop Eclipse, but Hot and Cold should be able to get away.
He's not going to win this off a disconnect, right?
Inside of the
That would be
service
tragic.
floor, waiting on top of it. Still pings coming out. You can hear the telltale sounds of a yokai nearby, but Bosco's not going to be able to do much with it. Skies is still above on that second floor. At least we have to.
Oh, he is not above.
He's made his way down to the bottom floor, watching the door. And Bosco will get caught by him.
Certainly, like, good game, right? And also very nice positioning from Dark Zero. Like, nice game sense from Bosco, right, to understand what's going on here. Also very nice positioning from Sledge to not allow Bosco into a 1v1. Like, this is a true 2v1 right now, right? Like, this is like the very definition of a 2v1.
Only good news, the longer he takes, maybe Hyper can get back in. Nope, there he goes. Hot
Right, like,
Cold finishes him.
both.
Only good news, the longer he takes, maybe Hyper.
Like, he's here, right, and he's staring down like the true like 180 degree, right, like this. Like, that's like the very definition. Like, that's the most textbook 2v1 you can ever play.
Second round after getting the diffuser down.
But like, yeah, in and of itself, right, like playing this here as Thermite is kind of weak, right? Like, that's, you just lose to Pika's advantage. But of course, you got the guy behind you.
Whiskey. I heard the death noise right before that, so I don't know if he heard that, but he was definitely checking that angle, and that seemed to be the main reason why he was.
Good job switching to casters before Hyper could trash talk the servers anymore.
See between the gorgeous head of hairs and faces that are John and I. There is a game ready, and we'll cue right into it and not make you have to look at us any longer.
All right, guys, let's get into it here. See exactly what we're looking at for round number 6.
Do it better soon, Reaper. Thanks, man.
Where we left off here, that means we're also going back to a fireplace and mining group.
There's a meme in that run out. Luke shooting Goyo, then asking why we're thinking they do that. Yeah, I can see it actually. I can see it.
There's that pulse.
Hey, Reaper, tempo TSM analysis, please. It's a great game, super tense. Nah, I think I'll pass. I think I'll pass on that.
Now the pulse is going to be brought out.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Pulse on the very final defensive round, and it's going to be a bomb site that has not shown up just yet. The site rotation for SSG so far is reading room twice.
What do you think about adding a map and open on your phone in-game to help less experienced player make vertical plays?
Excluding DZ's victory on Kitchen that just happened, the only other bomb site
that seems hard to use, I'd say, right? Like, if you gotta
we do tend to see quite
play and check your phone at the same time, that seems hard to use.
Teams don't exactly like holding it because it doesn't allow you any room for
I don't mind it though.
Once you've lost control of piano and they've taken
a 180 degree better than 90 degree or the 120 degree 2v1 though, because of the chance to TK. I thought about, as I was saying that, I thought about that. But honestly, I've never seen a TK. I have never seen a true like 180 degree TK, right? Like, just never seen it. I don't think it's.
Most of your opponents will clear out that.
I guess, right?
That leaves only one other bomb site to go to, which is mining, which is where SSG is going to go.
Guess it's something you're afraid of, but again, I've never seen it. Like, might as well not exist in my case.
It's interesting to see how this gets played out specifically because obviously they're going to have to contest the windows towards mining and red stairs a little bit more actively this time. I was hoping we'd see Canadian playing close to it and there'd be active attempts to counterplay against the operators that were near it, but doesn't seem to be the main plan right now, although that could come into the picture.
Okay, back. This is mining now, right? Like I was saying, SSG and Dark Zero are playing mining a good bit
right now, more than anything else. As of course, we can see the members of DZ focusing very much on the red. And other hatch drop-ins here that they can then work.
I want to see the execute. All right, like this is the setup, right? Like you open these holes, to create line of sights, like long line of sight in the piano,
The sight from
discourages attackers from playing vertically, right? It works a lot better with Mira too.
Ideally,
Mira's
they
banned
want
at
to
the
clear out
moment.
these players over in Cocktail too, but that's going to prove to be a little bit harder, mainly because there's 3 of them there right now, but also quite a few other factors as
But
well.
I think, like against this particular setup, right, you have like 3 players on like the opposite side of the map. I think it's very possible to just flood the site here.
Yeah, any particular engagement. Fultz is now on the Jaeger, and
Mike is like,
Rampy was playing
what do you have here? You have like, you have 3 players on this side of the map, and then you have 2 on site. I think you can very easily flood this. Maybe like have one sneak up white stairs, have one sneak up brown stairs, one sneak up red stairs.
Not confused, don't worry, so are we.
Jump into mining window.
At the top of white stairs by
I think
lumber,
something like that is
whatever
possible.
teams want to call it. And this push from DZ is going to come.
It looks like
about
DZ is clearing
with 90 seconds left. They're doing their due diligence, just
clearing
trying to
the
clear out
entire
white
top floor.
stairs as best as they can.
Which is pretty much exactly what
Even
SSG
so,
wants,
if
right?
there's
Like,
somebody playing in that spot, if they go to move,
also I was wondering when this happens, right? Because like this is not attacker favorite. Like this is nice, I guess, but this is not attacker favorite. You get slapped here like 7 out of 10 times.
If they go to move, you're going to essentially have a reflex test on hot.
It's not attacker favorite.
Well, guess
In case I
what?
said defender favorite.
Old man, you take a seat. That's why you're
You
on
do not
the
want to
card.
play this angle as a
Walks
thermite.
away with that one getting the very first pick for Space Station.
Another
Very
disconnect.
drop for a second too, although it looks like Dark Zero
Let's
already been
go.
retrieved. Unfortunate turn of events once again here for Dark Zero. They just
That's
can't
what, like
get
the
break.
third one, the
Spot is gonna be
4th?
dropped out, meaning this gets
That's
brought down
crazy.
to a 3v5. Dark Zero.
Guess you got top floor control though.
Pushed even further.
Not quite sure how much that helps you in
Coverage gonna be worked on here. Min, of course, is
in a
clearing
3v5.
camera. Is there any free utility that you can take out with this pistol from up on top? Other than that, the Zofia doing a lot of the work right now to clear out some top.
Gotta go
lanes.
Reapers here. We'll be expecting that TSM tempo analysis so I can crush people on consulate.
Them quite a bit
Alright,
here,
dude.
where they
See
try
ya.
to Open that up and eventually attack the site now when it comes down to the wire, which it's getting to that point here for Dark Zero. 27 seconds remaining. They
Yeah, and
really need
like
to
their
start
thermite
getting
died
some
early, right? He
second
can't even
floor
get hatches
control,
open.
or just start sending players down there to try and make plays.
I don't see a smart way of finishing this in a 3v5.
Other than that, though, there's nothing really.
He's gotta get some gunfights. Gotta win some gunfights. Oh yeah, man, Bosco wins this on his own. Like, they're never going to check his corner.
Getting ready to jump in. Until the IQ is probably not going to end up being too well off here
Oh,
due to the
wait,
shot
now
from
they
play,
can.
but
Ooh.
he's able to avoid that
Yeah, they
by running
didn't
around
check the
other
corner.
direction. Actually, he's going to get caught quite a bit here, but time runs out anyway, as unfortunately Dark Zero just can't piece themselves together quickly enough, and as a result of that, SSG will win it out on the timer.
Reaper, I think BDS watched your video because they're impact tricking, denying breaches. They beat Empire and Chaos. They look super deadly. Yeah, I've saw the game against Chaos. That was really nice to watch. Although I doubt that it's because of my video. That was really nice to watch. I enjoyed that one. What do you think about becoming a coach analyst? Not interested at the moment. Also, I'd probably most interested in working with NA teams, right? Like NA teams kind of like reflect my idea, my philosophy of playing Rainbow a bit better.
At that point,
Would probably be nicer to work with an NA team.
you don't have the third floor
But,
control
yeah,
that you
like,
really need. SSG
Can't really move right now, can I?
off.
So yeah,
Realize
not
that
interested at the
they
moment.
need to hold third floors aggressively, and they could spread out on that second floor and watch the window that we saw leading out onto the balcony. They can watch the doorways leading from pillars, and they can accelerate.
Internet broken in DZ house. Yeah, seems like that.
Would be working under the pressure of the clock. Dark Zero
Just
did
found a
not have
bottle
the
of
tools at their
orange juice on my
disposal
desk.
to be able to
Why?
disrupt the defense from
That
Space
sounds
Station,
dangerous,
and they
dude.
weren't going to win on gunfights alone because
I would certainly
SSG
not
had a
drink
handful of
that.
operators. SSG had crossfires established to be able to trade
Just
it off.
stick to water.
The
Right?
DZ
Water
members
is
will
always.
have to head in
Water
the
will never
same
betray you.
direction, where they would be lucky to take out the SSG member before SSG gunned down somebody from DZ. So
Okay, as long as you don't drink water out of a puddle.
For Dark Zero, where things have just not worked out the way they wanted, but they at least get a
DZ house has Comcast confirmed. I'm not up to date on American internet provider memes.
As far as that first round defense is going to go, once again, fairly standard third floor hold here coming out from the Dark Zero defense.
Delay on the stream is massive. I asked about potential coaching like 5 minutes ago. It's just that I mainly read chat between rounds. Wanna focus on the round, like catch the details, right? So
for their anchor players to wait for in the event.
I mainly yeah, like there's a natural delay for me reading chat.
Any early duels, as we still see.
Try to read every
emphasis
message
from
though.
SSG on trying to get into those hatches, as you might expect for really any attack against this third floor here. It's going to be actually pretty aggressive for Eclipse.
That's really
He's
aggressive.
going to be getting very, very close to the windows here.
Also just unnecessary, right? Like, you've got the shield set up. Just don't, right?
And trying to spot anyone out there, so we will fall back to the relative safety of the pixel reinforcement.
Also, I wonder if this is... Oops. I wonder if this is also preparation, right? Because, like, you know, like, if you watch a lot of DZ games, you know that Hot and Cold is always starting out here, right? Then he falls back towards here. And you can, like, deny this from Heaven window. Right? There's really no other reason why you would repel Heaven at this stage of the round. Right? Could be an interesting like analyst play. But like it's fine, I think, to repel Heaven like during the late game execute. I don't think there's a point in doing it right now. Going to get run out on. Wow. Even goes back.
That many people will remember.
That's very brave.
Being known as the pilot program. Kix and I actually talked about this. I believe it was on Wednesday.
I can see it working.
Child of Stuart Ewan at Ubisoft, along with the rest of the esports team.
Also, SSG is very slow, aren't they? Like 2 minutes gone. They're not even into the map. And I don't think they've cleared any utility. Maybe they're also going for some kind of DZ play where they end up dropping Skylight. At the moment, it doesn't seem like they're trying to deal with Piano at all.
So,
go grab him.
Not quite sure where this is going.
Us violently, but yeah, we'll see him.
I mean, yes, you don't.
How many Hibana charges left? 1. I'd assume that he's going to use that for cocktail.
Well, a good start for SSG.
They got rid of 1 shield at least. Why are you playing so aggressive though? I don't think that's necessary. Like, you should just bunker down here.
Other than that, no significant damage done to anybody else in the DZ.
You know, you've got a lot of smokes. There's like 20 seconds. Just chill.
Nice smoke catch right there is actually going to do a lot of damage.
Right, like you're allowing SSG to win here by winning gunfights. You just stay back.
Successful hold into white.
If you just stay back, I don't think you lose this. I want to see how Hot and Cold died actually. Oh yeah, he died early. He died first, right?
With how nice those. I mean, yes. So towards the esports splits.
And you saw him. Never mind. But you remember him like walking up again, right? Below Skylight. He dies first. I don't know. I don't think you need to do this in this situation.
So unfavorable to the defenders.
Like if the map was coastline, right? Like then you'd make these kind of plays. But on a map like Cafe, I think you just gotta do nothing. Just gotta let the attackers lose on their own.
But that's okay.
There's technically 2 Christmases on this map.
Having built a water-cooled PC, I can say with confidence, water will betray you. I can actually see that.
Once you lose control
also, is that literally water in those PCs though? Isn't that some kind of coolant?
Playing down below, they can find themselves gradually getting boxed out, especially if the attack.
What's up, Sloth Facts?
Up at Skylight, which we will see teams do. There are post-plant strategies where.
I angered the internet gods. Mine is fucked now. Yeah, maybe ask DZ for a solution. Weren't you a coach for a team before? Yes, I was a coach for about 1.5 years. But this is what I was talking about. If DZ doesn't have enough prep time for another team, they do significantly worse than flop. Why do you think that they weren't preparing for SSG though? Like they've had more than a week, right? At the very least. YouTube algorithm is a new BDS analyst by promoting Reaper's video to a BDS player. I actually wonder what they think about. Like, I'm sure at least one of them saw it. I would be interested to see what they're thinking about it. Your opinion of modded Siege? What exactly? What do you mean exactly? Wanna drop my primes up on you, but for that I have to get up. Take your time, dude. Take your time. Do you know why pros sometimes don't ADS when peeking around a door, for example? Because the side will block some of the screen. I guess that makes sense, right? Like if there's like a potential position that's very like, close range. Right? Like if you're afraid of like a very close range position, you maybe not want to ADS. Also, sometimes you are just peeking to bait shots, right? Like you're just peeking, like just very like quick, like the jiggle peek. And then obviously you don't want to ADS because you get movement speed penalty.
The attackers will deliberately leave somebody on the roof to watch the diffuser going down, especially if that diffuser is placed
Mostly
in a
just distilled water.
default spot, which can be by the one pillar up above in Cocktail or even by the bar by the back storage. So by back bar store, one of the most confusing callouts that exists in the game, by the way, and it scrambles my brain every single time. But very
Modded Siege lets you do stuff like play Parabellum again or give Goyo 15 shields, only in custom games. That sounds pretty cool. I'd certainly like a kind of cheat engine thing in custom games. So I can get like unlimited explosives and stuff like that. I can switch my gadgets around and stuff. Because interestingly, like there is like this already exists, right? Like Ubisoft internally is using some kind of cheat engine to do stuff. It's just not public, sadly. Sadly, not public.
But teams will usually set up flank drones to spot that and call it out well in advance.
Mint trying to test out his skills there with an early run out. Unfortunately,
we see the knock.
SSG spawning on that quadrant of the map. So
Let's see the idea here.
Detected those, so SSG really none the wiser as to
what are you doing with knock?
And away from that, SSG quickly working to get themselves in from the two hatches.
It's just walk up 90 maybe.
As you might expect.
Literally just walk up 90.
Here from DZ, including
I've seen this a lot more in recent times, right? Like this is reading, right? This is reading defense. But a lot of teams are playing the pixel shield nowadays. Usually, like in the past, you would like focus on, you would actually just focus on this part of Cocktail, right? Like this. Recently, a lot of teams have also extended their defense into pixel.
White stairs, where not only he's waiting, but as you can see from the silhouettes, there are two other players from Dark Zero are also still holding.
Not quite sure if that's like better or worse. It's an interesting development.
And they can do a lot of soft destruction work, and they'll likely.
What's the knock play though? I want to see that.
Back bar. And in that spot, they will come to a loggerheads with none other than Mint, who is playing by Cocktail.
Because I do think that like especially if you're trying to clear this, Thatcher is like 1,000,000 times better than knock, right? Like you EMP this, you Hibana this, and that's usually enough for both those players to drop. Interestingly, hatch is not open. I've seen this. I think it was DZ. I think I've seen this more than once from DZ already. The hatch is still closed. Technically, there like I think the idea here is that this gives more space for Mint to play, right? And then in the late game, someone else can open the hatch for him to drop.
Nope, the hatch is still closed, so Mint does not have an.
I'd say that this is the idea, because usually you do want a hatch open, right? Like you don't wanna fight on the top floor. But he is not going to drop here. I don't know. I don't know about that.
The fact that I said the only other operator that you're going to see that would be brought with frag grenades would be a Yana. Well, there's a Nook on the board, and Rampy will need to do some more damage after he's taken out Mint.
Oh, and also Legion.
To go for Space Station to pull off and execute, or alternatively have
Legion over Maestro. Nice.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about
gotta appreciate that. Why are people starting to play Legion again? Please no. Play Maestro instead. And then get slapped by knock.
The problem is going to be though is if this fails to
okay, so now we can see SSG's variant of the reading execute though. Let's see their interpretation of it.
Now they need to try and get down to the
so plant is outside Snowbelk. That makes a lot of sense. You want someone else on Snowbelk too, or like with the planter raise. You want one above, you want one white stairs, and you want one. Where's the last player? Please say heaven.
Attempts to try and get down are just not really being led to much, but finally Bosco
Never
finds
mind.
an opener. This should give the team a bit of confidence to play into it.
Certainly not heaven. tell you that much.
Be a rough
Oh, I guess this is close to heaven, right? Guess this position is somewhat close to heaven.
ask for the
What's happening
second
here,
floor
though?
and get onto
It looks
the
like they're
site in a
running
very
in.
low amount of time, and it's gonna
Ooh, there's some. This shouldn't be here.
be a rough ask for them at its minimum.
Like they're not fully controlling reading.
See, of course, the
Okay.
attempts to try
Got a
and
kill
counter
with
is not
Sledge.
really being led to much, but finally
Nice.
Bosco
They're
finds
planting.
Rotor. This should give the team a bit of confidence to play into it. They can't really play into it.
Oh, then they also
Right,
lose
though, and
pillar
that's one of
side,
the
right?
issues for them, but nonetheless, Canadian
Alongside
also
using
get very
losing
close and
red.
indeed can
But that was mainly losing the pillar side, right? I feel like again, if you play knock heaven here instead of wherever she was playing, you have a really easy time making sure that you don't get that the defenders are not able to retake pillar. I definitely want to see more heaven play. I think that's actually really good.
Someone that goes in the ground really just wastes time, takes the next duel, comes down on the losing end of it.
This is probably
Goes
actually
from
attacker
down to
sided,
under 50 HP, but
because
no
the
one on
defenders don't have
counter
enough
just
time to
yet,
walk up.
giving him 0 opportunities for a free
Okay.
kill. He'll never even get it. As Hyper
Why would you play
immediately takes
Legion
him
with
down.
Melusi open?
Jumps
Ah,
on
true
the
actually,
counter,
right.
he's
Didn't even consider that. Wait, have we?
Plenty of excess time, giving
Have
Dark
we
Zero the
seen
retake for
Melusi
round
here?
number 8.
Well, he might not have been the flashiest player
I feel
so
like
far in this lobby
SSG
or
also
in
didn't
the
play
game
Melusi.
thus far, but that
At
is
least I can't
definitely
remember.
from
Hold-
Hyper, and you see exactly why.
How did you say
he is
though?
known to be so consistent, though. The
Oh yeah, I
kill
remember
was
at least one
largely
round
owned
with
by
Melusi,
Hot and
but they
Cold,
didn't
who's
play her
also been
that
good on the
often.
objective play. So it's good to see that he's living up to the first part of his name since the mini major, and not the second part. So with that said, what did DZ do?
I want to
right?
make 15 shield strats,
Well,
then my strats
they
won't
actually
flop.
did a strategy that looked very
Yeah,
similar
can't go
to
wrong
the
with
Legion
15
defense that we
shields.
saw from Space Station when they were on
Zero not
defense,
legal
when
in Pro
DZ
League yet?
found themselves,
That's
where
correct.
Skies had to basically do what Bosco was doing as the same operator in the same
Maestro
spot
and
upstairs
Melusi.
in
Look, they're
Cocktail.
listening.
And that was get the diffuser down and then keep somebody above to watch it. But you are
Pro teams are currently shit at using Melusi though. They keep putting them in dumb places. Yeah, I've seen a few rounds where like it was like right next to barbed wire or right next to a door.
Now, the challenging
This is probably a good one. This is probably a good one, right? I mean, I think you place this like... No, actually I think this is a good one.
to the sledge above. But it's challenging as an attacking team to try and dwindle
And
the
this makes it
numbers
even
of the
more
defenders
difficult,
down
right,
before you
to,
can pull off that execute.
I think
You
this
can
is probably not a
absolutely
good
use the
one.
pillars. You need
Probably
to
want to
get
have this like in the middle. Between
that launch
between
is
window
going
and
down.
like
You
rotational.
might want to keep control of white stairs. And that's a big spread for a team like SSG after they get the diffuser down. They just weren't
Legion
able to
with that
shore it up. And
1.5
honestly,
scope makes him a
it
better
really came
gunner.
down to that retake from DZ catching them off guard.
Sure,
and
but I
Bosco
think
being able
like
to pick off
I think this is
two
just
very,
gets
very quickly before allowing Hyper
I mean
to
that's
finish
certainly
the
true,
So we'll
but
now
that doesn't,
see the
you know,
switch here
negate
for Dark
the
Zero,
fact
as
that
they'll head down
Melusi has
to
like
a first floor
Melusi
defense,
levels of
finding a
utility.
lookout on kitchen.
I feel like
The defense from the setup phase at least looks
I feel like that's a
horizontal
trade
here,
you
but
want to take.
I'm assuming there's at least a little bit of play that's going to be happening upstairs.
And now like with
as well.
Melusi Maestro, right, you're never going to play
There
Valkyrie
are no
only. Like
sights for this map, and indeed we're going to see Hyper playing around the white stairs, but it's a pretty
Valkyrie
passive
only
role,
really
meaning that
makes
SSG is going to have
zero
pretty
sense
good
here.
negotiating rights over the entire third floor and a large majority.
Let's see some
of the
Ying
second floor,
executes. That could
pretty
be
much
interesting,
from the
right?
get-go here. Won't have to waste a huge
Some
amount of
Freezer
time
Ying
loading everything out.
executes? Also maybe with Ying you could actually make Bakery takes work maybe. I don't think so, but
because SSG have been using
could be
Rambi in that
interesting.
6th pick, flex pick style, now going from Nook onto Ying, and there is a bunker buster sort of play that Ying is capable of doing if there's a Wamai.
Wait for the drone. Don't get scared.
Go off, each of those separate flashbangs from a Candela will
What a
take
scaredy
out one
cat.
charge of an ADS or a magnet, so you can clear out heaps of that gadgetry from both Jaeger and Wamai with just one.
Okay, so this is
Candela,
certainly
freeing up the rest of your team.
wait, where is
Additionally,
SSG?
Semi
I can only see
recently
Ash on the
did
map.
Smokes. And while smokes are
Four people
really
joining for
good
Ash.
at the moment, they are still incredibly strong at being able to cut off lines of sight, being able to obscure a possible plant going down, or
Oh, we see another one of those. But aren't those just good for the attackers? Like you drop down as an attacker and then you have the luxury of only focusing on like this? Like sure, I guess later on when you're actually trying to plant and bunker, then it might be awkward to, because the defender could be here, but the defender here will always be denied by vertical play, right? I guess maybe the idea is that as the attackers are planting, it's easier for defenders to run in because the attackers can't hold this line of sight.
Just simply
I'm not
redirecting the
quite sure about
attention of
that.
your opponents. I'm very curious to see what Rampy is going to be able to do with Ying here, but now that I've talked at length about this, Rampy is probably going to be the first person to die, and we're not going to see a single.
But SSG
kill.
pretty
That's just the way it goes.
We did see quite a bit
Okay,
of
probably
growth
average in
since
terms of
this one I
speed here.
tested on Monday. In fact, obviously didn't really involve
Could be
either of
fine,
these
though.
teams, so a little bit relevant to what's currently going on, but there's still quite a bit of room for it to be used if it's properly utilized. Just there's been teams really haven't been prioritizing it as of late, so we'll see if it comes into the picture for this round right here. If SSG are going to try to bring it into the
Always
round.
nice
So,
to
other than that, though,
you know,
things
to
are
open.
pretty much going
By the way,
as
this is
I
kind of what I
expected
mean,
for
right? Like
into
one
the
Ash charge
round.
destroys
Other
Boy
than
and Melusi. Probably not the play.
that, though, things are
Oh,
pretty
very
much
nice
going
to
as
open
you might
like the
expect this
extra
round.
rotations
SSG
between
taking that
Fireplace
easy
and
top
Train.
control, as I had mentioned that they would get before. Not much contest coming in from Hyper either. He's fallen all
That makes
the
it
way
more
back
difficult to
VIP.
get
Now he's
C4'd.
gonna be holding from the inside. If here they do know he's here, but still, it's not the easiest thing in the world to get
Okay,
rid of
so
him.
like
He
there
doesn't
is.
have a
Oh,
shield to
is this a Ying
support his
execute?
weak
Maybe don't look. Maybe don't look directly into the flash. Then you have a chance of
As a result of that,
surviving.
we're going to see a Candela thrown right at him. He looks right
Okay.
at it, meaning he's not going to see anything for that.
Also interesting to see like that much focus from both teams, right? That much focus on Christmas. Or I think
Fight.
VIP is
And
the
he's the
more
opening frag for
common
Rampy.
call.
This is going to transition into SSG trying to get some.
Because I think you can play freezer executes without having VIP control. Like I think you can just drop down and you just kill the guy on side plant, while only having one single player on white stairs to make sure that the defender doesn't rotate back in. But apparently Dark Zero and SSG are fans of clearing that entire part of the map.
Professional play knows exactly what that feels like.
And now the question again is, what does it really give you?
Essentially just waiting.
Like how much do you really gain from having control?
So still 2 Candelas remaining.
Because in the end you still gotta run in here and plant. Like I mean, okay, like now they're getting a bunch of kills.
For Canadian as they'll tase away at the Hibana. Going for the plant, Skies falls. Mint has been down, and Eclipse will just activate as much of that Evil Eye as he can.
Oh no.
Pulling the Eld out
Okay.
of his back pocket. He's trying to.
I mean, they got a lot of kills. Okay.
Almost. No, it is. It's a flawless.
But I've
They didn't finish off a single
I've yet to see the true idea behind also having like dining
or
control.
map point rather on DZ's map.
Not saying it's bad.
SSG definitely.
But yeah,
scaring
I just
me a little
don't
bit there.
understand
It
it.
came down to the timing, but that's often kind of the nature of the beast for Siege right now, as you see these very low timed executes, and that's exactly what we got from SSG once again.
Zero
Also
OP
very
or
smart
not?
of them, once
Probably
again,
too early to
save
tell.
the Ying play
I don't
up
know.
until the very end for an incredibly important 1v1.
It doesn't make sense putting a gadget on a
VIP
wall
player,
for like
so
80%
they
of
could,
spots.
First of all, easily get into Freezer. If that
I
was
think the
their
idea
goal.
is
Not
that
only that, but also start transitioning over towards
it's more
Receiver,
difficult to
working for
clear.
control of the main entrance in the kitchen too. That really was the start of the chain and the start of the end, unfortunately, for DZ there. As
Not
once they
really, right?
lost
Like I was
control,
thinking like maybe it's more
there was,
difficult to
that third
clear
kill
with
site. At
Sophia.
that point in the round, there was going to be no chance of them getting that control back due to the
Because
position.
you won't have direct line of sight on it,
Slowly but
obviously, right?
surely, SSG just fully
I don't know.
swarm in to take that control away.
Why
from
Freezer
DZ.
takes more common now?
Like you said, in flawless
I think
fashion.
main reason is
They're
because
gonna be feeling good about
of how
themselves
strong
and
Bakery
heading
is, right?
towards
You
the
just
lead
saw how
around
like the
the
Bakery
first
hold
map.
with like Maestro, the Castle Barricade, Melusi. Like
Now,
you
I
don't
really
wanna
what I
like
saw at Space Station and how
you don't
they
wanna
took
push into that.
command of
That
delivery
sounds like
and pushed from there.
sounds
A
very
lot of teams have
difficult.
left open Freezer as of late, and it's
So
been
a
the
lot of
default
teams have been
strategy
focusing on
for
Freezer instead.
most defenders when it comes to kitchen, because you'll leave open some of that Freezer wall.
Want to see some
and
Ying
keep
executes?
somebody over in
Reaper
VIP, or
SSG
keep
next
somebody
map?
possibly over by watching white stairs,
Looking forward to that
or
one.
playing behind a deployable shield.
Next map they
Maybe
created
keep
a
somebody
hellish
risky
post plant with
playing
Ying and
over
Lion. Ooh, they're also playing
ground
Lion
stairs, or you
too?
can even
That's crazy.
rotate down if you've got somebody playing on that.
Placing Melusis on walls can make sense if the attackers has to turn completely away from the defenders to smack it. True.
Third or second floor, because the brown stairs are still there. and you can hop down on the
VIP person was a free kill because of Ying, so why not go for it?
The problem is that when you bring a tool like a Ying, you are going to lose
yeah, sure.
so much of that control.
I can see that line of argument.
That you have that's playing in VIP,
But I was more like talking about, well, like on a general level, right? Because like Dark Zero was also clearing Christmas.
They certainly were not. They were cleared out,
and they didn't have Ying.
Was able to take full advantage of
and I'm not quite sure about the free kill, right? Like Jaeger, like okay, he looked directly into the flashbang, so that was like a true free kill. I think there's a chance that Jaeger wins this.
Leaving a 3v5 that was near unwinnable, and the remaining members of Dark Zero.
But yeah, sure. Like if you know that there are free kills on the board, go ahead, take it.
Funny enough, Space Station had some of their own struggles in a match.
Also, last time Skies played this position, he got ultra punished here. Because the thing is, you can play this position, but if the attackers are in piano, you gotta leave, because then you get wallbanked.
Where they got boxed out.
See if he learned from his mistakes.
So they at least have the last laugh, because what they ended up falling victim to. Well, now they're able to capitalize on.
I was about to say, like, you actually get fall damage if you jump over.
The fall and he'll get reset. That is actually quite coincidental, and
I guess it works out in the end, though.
He's only at 1 HP, so he'll get some health back in the process. But that is
you're not already thinking about leaving, though, right?
You can see that there's some panic setting in for Dark Zero as they scramble to relocate amidst this action
relocation
with half of the round to go.
He realized at the moment he dropped too that it was either a mistake.
Again, Edge is not open in Cocktail.
And yeah,
so let's keep an eye on how that one develops.
You mentioned either way though, he's brought back into the fight. Now, still maintaining controls over all the important areas right now. Dark Zero.
There isn't even like there's no one for him to open the hatch.
Amount of early damage. DZ also was up control on the third floor, still to bargain for.
And I don't know if I'm a fan of that, because like now there's no crossfire, right? Like Jaeger is pretty much on his own here.
Supporting from second to third floor white, but
and it's the second time he died, right? Because he didn't fall back.
He's just gonna rush right past it and use the
I'm not a fan.
Mint.
I think you want to play this with the intention of falling back.
Not ideal for DZ, especially with Skies being on low HP.
Oh yeah, I don't like that way of playing the.
These shots count before going back onto reload. Rampy.
Oh, side isn't even reading, but the same. I think the same concept applies. But is the side reading? Okay, side is mining, but the same concept applies. You still wanna fall back. All those same.
It could be another flawless round for them, and with it, they would end up taking the map.
So difficult on Cafe to
coming down to the wire here,
it was so easy to confuse the sites on Cafe.
Players trying so hard to stay alive, and more importantly,
yeah, now this is just
SSG, but Canadian once again coming out on top of the fight right there.
This is just because you clear, you get a bunch of kills, and then it doesn't really matter anymore. You just win the round because of the mounting pressure of being like 2 men up.
Here on Cafe, putting them ahead in the series.
Okay, pretty cool game though.
Pretty
cool round. There were actually quite a lot of things that were like new, right? Or like at the very least things that I didn't immediately understand, or maybe haven't understood until now. So yeah, SSG Dark Zero always gives you something to think about. I like it. Alright, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new, and thanks for watching.